Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to add a loading screen for your website. Okay, so I'll be using this to show you that. So let's get started. So to add a loading screen to something like this, what you need to do is go to the top div, which is this in my case. Okay, so inside of this, what I will do is do div, okay, and add in class name, and I'm going to use fixed, okay, and I'm gonna do top 0 and left 0. Width is going to be full and height is going to be the size of the screen. Okay, I'm gonna add in white for this. Okay, so let's save this. Everything is showing above the screen. This is being applied, by the way. I just need to add in z dash, let's do 10. As you can see, everything is now hidden behind it. Okay, so this is at the top. So now what you need to do is I'm going to add in another div inside of this, and this is going to have everything we are going to add inside of our loading screen. Okay, so I'm going to make this relative, and I'm going to create another div, and this is going to have position absolute, and it's going to have, so it's going to have top 1 divided by 2, left 1 divided by 2, and negative translate x, and it's going to be 1 divided by 2, and it's the same thing, but it's going to have y. Okay, so inside of this, what I'm going to add is the image. Okay, so the image is going to be, let's say, out of 12, it's going to be, let's say, 4 for now. Okay, so to point to the image that I want to use, okay, it's going to be this one. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the name. Okay, so since this image is in my images folder, that is in the public folder, I can just point to it like this, /images/ paste this in. Okay, I'm going to add an alt. So I'm going to save this for now and see what happens. Okay, so you can see the image, but it's really small. So I'll make this an 8. Yeah, okay, that's better. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't need to add a position relative. Okay, how about let's do a flex for this. Okay, so let's do flex, and to position this in the center, let's do justify in the center and items center. Okay, let's do that. Let's save this. Yeah, it's still in the center. So basically that was working as well. It's basically the same thing. So it's still in the center. Let's make this 12. Let's see how big this gets. Okay, so this needs to be a full size, I'm seeing. Okay, so we're gonna make this in the center, and I'll just put the image outside. So both ways work, just so you know. I'm just choosing to use this one, this way. Okay, since it's outside, it's taking up more space. Okay, I'll do 4 now. Yeah, okay, so I can adjust it better now. Do 2 for this. Yeah, that's better in my opinion. Okay, let's try 3. Okay, I feel like I should stick with this. Okay, so let's stick with this. So here, what I'm going to do is add a loading bar, and then I'll show you how to animate that. So to add a loading bar, let's create a div first, and for this, I'm just going to copy this and this here. I'm going to do empty-auto so that it's at the bottom, and let's do h-20 for now, and width is going to be 10 out of 12, and then mx dash auto. Let's add in rounded, and the background is going to be red 500. Okay, for now at least. Here I'm also going to add in full, and I'm going to do auto for now. Auto, got to add that. So I'm going to do flex dash col. What you can do is do m dash auto. Okay, so it's aligning itself to the center of this right now, and mx dash auto should have, oh no, wait, it won't work because this is not a flex. So I'm gonna have to make this into a flex first, and then do the exact same thing for this, and then instead of 20 I'm gonna do 10. Okay, that's good. And actually I'm gonna add in some padding for the Y. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, the image, what I'm gonna do is add some padding to the top of this. So mx dash auto, but mt dash, so let's do 50, actually no, let's do 40%. Ooh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Let's do 10 then. Yeah, okay, so 10 in my opinion works better. Let's do 15. No, let's do 12. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so this is what we have right now. Okay, I'm actually going to change this to full. So now you can see this. So how do we animate this, right? Because what we want to do is show that this loads in, right? So we want to load this in. So to do that, what you're going to do is inside of this, we're going to add in a p-5 for now, and I'm going to do border dash control 700, and then okay, and inside of this I'm gonna add in something that we can use. So this will be w dash full and h dash full, and I'm gonna do bg dash neutral 700 for now. Okay, so let's see what that looks like right now. It should have shown inside of this. Maybe the padding is a little too much. Let's do 1. Okay, so the padding was a little too much. That's what we needed to fix. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and then put that here. Okay, I'm gonna remove this. Okay, so right now what I'm gonna do is show you what we're gonna try and do. So we're gonna do translate dash x dash, what I'm gonna do is do negative 100% for this. So let me just show you. Yeah, you can see that it's outside now, but what I'm gonna do is in this I'm gonna add in overflow x hidden, and you can kind of still see it. Okay, to fix that, let's just do 102%. Yeah, I think it's completely out. Let me just remove that. Okay, so that's good. So 101%. Okay, so this is the code for the loading. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you with this right now, but we will be making like an animation for this, okay, that will start at a certain point. Okay, so we can add in one of our animations that we made. So we have an animation called slide in right and slide in left, so we're going to use this one. So to use it, we're going to do animate dash square brackets and then slide from the left, and this is going to complete in, let's say, 3 seconds. Okay, ease in, and then add in a 1 second delay. Then we're going to do both. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it does do the animation. Okay, I know a quick fix to this. So what you can do is, instead of adding the padding like we did, okay, because the biggest problem that you're seeing here is, if I refresh this, you'll see that it's pointing out a little bit, and also it's like not hiding this. So I kind of wanted that to happen. So what I can kind of see here, like the problem for this, is that the padding isn't a good choice for this. So what you can do is create a div, okay, and I'll make this a relative and add in a absolute with top 0 and left 0, border dash 2 for now, border dash white, and also, so let's see how that looks. Oh, okay, so p dash 5. Okay, this is where I need to add this, and I need to add this in this, actually, not in that. That was my bad. So let's do this. Ah, we still have the p-1, which we do not need anymore. And this is taking in all of that. So I'm gonna do z-10 and z- actually no, z-10 will be here, and this will be z-, let's manually add that. Let's do 11. Save this. We have our loading animation. Okay, but we are not done yet. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is how we can make this image shrink down to the image you see here as the logo, because this is the logo image. So I'm going to be shrinking this down after the animation ends. So to measure that, for now, what I will do is do /0, and the reason for this is so that the opacity is 0, but I want to make this move here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to measure this. So to measure this, what you can do is use translate dash 0, or rather 100%. Let's do X for this first, and I'm going to use a negative number. You'll see why. Yeah, okay, and let's go a little bit more. Let's do 2. Let's do 10. Getting there. do 25. Okay, I think that's good. Let's do 24. Okay, so we have this. Now we need the Y. Okay, so for the Y, basically gonna do the exact same thing. Okay, but that's a little too much. Let's do 10. Okay, I think that's good. Now we're gonna do scale, and we're gonna add in 0.4. 3. Okay, a little bit more, I'd say. Yeah. Let's do 4. Yeah, that's perfect. Just the alignment needs to be changed a little bit. It is perfect. So this is what we need to remember. Okay, so what we're gonna do is create another one. So we're gonna do at keyframes. We're gonna say logo to nav. Okay, let's just call it that. So from to, so it's gonna go from, it's going to be 0.2, and it's the same. Actually, this is going to be 0.2. This is going to be 0. Okay, this is the starting position, by the way, so that's why it needs to be 0. I'm gonna add in translate x, and the same for the y. This is going to be 0 and 0, so it will go to this. Okay, so this is going to be, the x is going to be 124, and this is going to be 104, -4. Okay, so both of these are negative, and I'm seeing we have 24 here. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna remove all of this. So here we're gonna add in this. So to add in this, you just do animate, then the name, which is logo to nav. Okay, and it's going to complete in 1 second. It's going to be ease in, and then I'm going to add in a, let's see, the animation completes for this in 3 seconds, right? So let's add a 4-second delay, and then I'm going to do both. Okay, and let's save this. And actually, one more thing, I added this, so I'm gonna remove that. So let's refresh this. So that loads, and then, oh, what? Oh, I forgot to change this to a Y. So this also needs to be Y. And the scale didn't work for some reason. That is strange. And the scale is a normal scale. Oh, this needs to be 1 to start. I get it now. Okay, so this is what you needed to do, not what I did. And then you can add in the X and you can add in the Y like so. So let's remove this. Let's save these. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add back animation. And as you can see, it's going there. Okay, need to add. I thought it was with transform like this, but it's literally just using translate here. Okay, so just need to do that, and then here I can just change this to fade in. Okay, and the animation takes 1 second, so let's add 5.5 to this. Okay, actually let's create, and we'll call this fade out. Okay, it's really simple to make this. Okay, so it's basically the reverse of the fade in, so we'll just copy this, add this here, change the name to out, make this 1 and make this 0, and that's all you need to do. Let's save this. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the one that I added in my animation here. Okay, let's save this. So let's see this animation happen. Okay, so the loading bar loads and then goes there, and then everything else fades out. Okay, now you must be wondering, how do we trigger all of this with this, right? So all of this animation is still happening in the background, it just happens before this animation finishes. Okay, so what we can do is use a use effect. So effect, and what we can do is use the use state. So by default it will be true on loading because it is loading. So you can just call this whatever you want. I'm just going to use this. So what I'm going to do is do so what I'm going to do here is add a set timeout, and if you see that we are fading this here in 5.5 seconds, so at 6 seconds, okay, let's say at 6 seconds we want this animation to begin, so we'll use this, we'll set this to false, and this, if you remember, I ended up showing you in a previous tutorial why we added the curly brackets and made this into a template string. So the reason for that is that we are going to be using this, and I'm going to say this. So I'm going to say this and add this, but I'm going to say when this is false, okay, then run this. But actually, now that I'm looking at this, this one is actually wrong. The other ones are fine. We need to make it like this one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add that in. Okay, so let's add a 1 second delay to this. Okay, so when this is false, I want the animation to start. Actually, I'm gonna make this the same number. 5500 means 5.5 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna make this the same as when this fade out happens, so that when the fade out happens, then all of these animations set in. Okay, so it's gonna be the same for all of these. Okay, this one and this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so I think that's all of them. So let's save this. And look at that, a beautiful hero section. So let's look at that again one more time. So one more thing I actually wanted to add, the video is actually not playing, just in case you didn't notice. So to add that effect in as well, what you do is add a ref. Okay, so I'll call this car video ref. Okay, car video ref. So I'll just copy this and I'll just create a use ref, name this, and I'll do null by default and add in the ref. Okay, so now what I can do is when this is done, right? So this dot current dot play. So let's save this. Okay, so tell me this isn't good. Like, wow. I think this ended up being very good. So subscribe to the channel to get updated on the latest tutorials like this, and give this video a like if you ended up liking it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.